How to find the best value NFTs for playing in Townstar. It's a very common question when people are first starting with gala games and in particular with Townstar, saying, well, there's all these NFTs to place in the game. How do I know which ones are the best ones to buy? And also, some of these I just cannot afford. What are the best ones in terms of my affordability? Because what you can afford is not necessarily the best value ones, but I'll run through on this video some details to give you a better picture so you can work out what you want to do in terms of investing or rather buying NFTs that you can place in your Townstar game. For those who don't know yet, Townstar is a fantastic little farming simulation game. You start off with your farm, which is 16 squares by 16 squares. You build it up and you can produce all sorts of things. Over time, it really is a fun game. There's multiple levels of complexity to it. So you've got a very simple starting point of a farmer just grows some crops and then you can go and sell those crops and so on. But one thing you can also do with this game is play it as a play to earn. Now, it doesn't matter where you finish in the league tables. So at the moment I'm 5,919 in this game, but it doesn't matter where you are because in the play to earn, it's a case of just completing the daily challenge and then you can earn town coin. And that town coin has real monetary value and that is earned by having NFTs in the game. So by buying NFTs, you're supporting the game development. You're buying a piece of game utility. Something that can be used in the game. So for instance, over here I have this item which is called a buggy Mr. Puddle's home, and he comes out every now and again and collects water. Here he is actually just down here, and he collects water from the wells to help water the crops. And so he's a little robot that does that rather than the farmer, which you can just see going back to his farmhouse. So Mr. Buggy will go and do that, and Mr. Buggy will earn me 10 town coin per day, that every day that I complete the challenge in the game. And the challenge at the moment is to simply get 1,000 stars, and you get stars by selling products. So that's a quick overview of the game, but how do you determine which are the best value NFTs to buy? Now later on in this video I will go through some of my recommendations for what I think are some really good value NFTs to buy at the moment. They probably won't stay around at this price for particularly long, so do keep watching to see what those NFTs are. But let's go back to the store. So when you're in gala games, you go to the store. You can see if we look at Townstar items, so there's lots of different games in development, but Townstar is already play to earn. And you can see there's different items here and different prices. We can see that the legendary basketball court at the moment is sold out. The price on that was 18,616 town coin. And this varies pretty much by the minute as the value of town coin goes up and down, because these are pegged to a dollar price, a US dollar price. So every now and again when you update these, I say it's about every half an hour they update the pricing, you'll see the prices will change. But how do you work out what is the best value? For instance, should I buy a rare basketball court or an uncommon basketball court? Well, a rare basketball court, there's 1,250, so that might be one of your considerations, versus the uncommon, which has 2,500. If you want rarity and bragging rights, then to have a rare basketball court, that may be what you want to go for. But most people want to know, well, what earns them the most in the play to earn game? So what you need to do is know how many town coin each of these items will generate for you if you complete the challenge. Now there is a spreadsheet by one of the game players. They've made it public, which is really kind of them, and there's a link in the description to get to this spreadsheet. And you can see here we've got the NFT, the name of the NFT in the left hand column here. We've got the town value, in other words the rarity, and what town coin will this item earn you if you play it in the game and achieve the challenge for the day, which like I said is 1,000 points at the moment, and then the time of the last update. So we can see here, if we scroll down the page, we've got an epic water tower here. It will give you 18 town coin per day. So what you then want to do is take the cost of the epic town water, divide it by the number of town coin, and that will show you the cost per town coin. So what you're looking at is the best value. So you want to go through those and find out which are the best value. So On this spreadsheet, you've got the town coin value for what they're worth, but you can also go to OpenC and you can look up items for Townstar in here as well. Now, if we go to OpenC, we type in Townstar as our search. We want to make sure we go to the verified collection. So we're looking for this blue check, this blue tick, and click on that verified collection. And this is the official collection. There's 426 different types of NFT that can be used in Townstar or for Townstar. Not all of them earn town coin in the gameplay. So again, check back to your spreadsheet, or the spreadsheet rather. Let's look up Epic Water Tower is 18 town coins. So we type in Epic Water Tower. So that's our search within the Townstar items. And here we can see, here is the Epic Water Tower. We click on that and we can see here the current price. This is what someone else is selling it for. So a quick summary, we've got 573 people own Epic Water Towers at the moment. There's 1,600 in total, or 1,581 in total that will be available. The current price is 1.35. That's in Ethereum, which works out at the moment at $4,269. So you would get 18 town coin per day. So if you divide the 4,269 by 18, 4,269 divided by 18, you will see you would have to spend $237 per town coin that this makes you. And that gives you a sort of an index as to how affordable versus how much value this provides for you, just in a monetary point of view. Now, I can tell you that that is not a good monetary value. What I tend to aim for is 200 or less. And I'm going on the basis, let's say town coin goes to an average of $1 per town coin over the next 12 months or so. And it goes up and down all the time, but if we said it was worth $1, then a $200 payback, sorry, $200 per town coin would mean you'd be looking around about 0.5% yield per day, which is an absolutely phenomenal return. But yes, you typically want to be looking for less than 200. So divide the cost by the number of town coin, and you want to be looking for less than 200 for absolute bargains. Now you can do the same thing if you go back to the Gala Games store itself, and let's go and look for the Epic Water Tower. So we type Epic Water and we hit search, and here it is, and it's 12,304 town coin is what that would cost. But you can also use Ethereum, Gala if you've got it in your account. Let's click on Ethereum here. So in Ethereum it's 2.094 on the Gala Games store website. So you are going to be far better, if you wanted to buy the Epic Water Tower, to buy it on OpenC than you are on the Gala Games store. But here's another factor to think about here. If Gala Games are not selling these for less than 2.09 Ethereum, then eventually the price will drift up on OpenC, because there's only a limited supply. And as more and more people start to play Townstar and get these various NFTs, these prices are going to drift to the availability price at effectively the manufacturer. So it's a bit like saying, well, this is the price they're being made for at the moment. Gala never sell them for less than the price they have them. They always go up in price. So 2.09 Ethereum at the moment. Now the price in Ethereum might drop if the price of Ethereum changes, but remember, these are pegged to US dollar price underneath. So these Epic Water Towers at the moment are selling for from Gala store from just over $6,000, $6,600 thereabouts, and that will not fall in price. So even though this has a $235 per town coin cost, this could still be good value in the long term. Now let me go back and show you some what I think are absolute bargains at the moment for NFTs within Townstar, and I've got a couple here to show you on my game here, and it's a basketball court here. This is a very recent Townstar addition. It's a basketball court to celebrate Steph Curry, who's a basketball player in America who recently set a record, and he had some NFTs in combined with Under Armour and his brand. Now you can buy these basketball courts. You buy 2 basketball courts and put them together, you get a full basketball court. And you can also get the 2974 Curry Flow shoes, trainers as we call them, sneakers, sports shoes, and they're just walking around the back of the farmhouse here. If I just spin them around, so we can see them here kind of moonwalking across the pastures here, and that's what those shoes are there. And if you combine these 3, so a full court with the shoes, you get a bonus NFT value on the shoes. So you get an extra 50%. So let me run through some numbers and show you how this actually works out and show you why these are such good value. That's if you're watching this right now, early January 2022. So I've taken a snapshot today, the 7th of January, 2 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time in the UK. And we've got 5 different types of shoe. These are named the Lab, Warp, Flow, Broken History and Unanimous. And these have a rarity value. This basically means how many town coin do these shoes earn if you have them in the game. So if you just had the Lab shoes, they would earn you 7 town coin per day. Now the cost on OpenC at the moment is $930, so the cost per town coin is just $132. So compare that to the Epic Water Tower at $232. This is half the price. So if you wanted to earn town coin for as little outlay as possible, this is a really good one to buy. But you'll see the Warp here has a value of 13 rarity, which means it will earn you 13 town coin per day in the challenge. And the cost on OpenC is $1,636. That means it's $125 per NFT. So that's even better value than the Lab. But what you have to weigh in there is the cost. We'll say, well, this is $1,600. You may not be able to afford $1,600. You might only be able to afford $1,000 and go for the $930 at 7, which is still really good value. You'll also notice here the Unanimous shoes, which have a rarity of 45. They actually cost $15,000 on OpenC at the moment, which is $335 per town coin, which is a really expensive item at the moment. That said, if you're watching this in 6 months or 12 months time, $335 could be an absolute bargain per town coin, because town coin might be $2 or $3 at that point. And all these NFTs have sold, and there's millions of game players and so on. There's lots of factors to take into account. But if you're buying them right now today, these are your 2 you want to be looking at, the Lab and the Warp shoes. Now, like I said, you get a bonus if you match them up with basketball courts. There are 5 different types of basketball court, rated through from common to legendary. Half the basketball courts are common, half of those are uncommon, and so on. And legendary, I think there's only 30 or something like that basketball courts on legendary. But again, if we look at the cost per town coin, the best value is the common. So if you match that up with the Warp shoes as well, then that's your best value. And you can see that here in the spreadsheet. I've put the full set. If you've got shoes and 2 basketball courts, so a Lab and a common, and they need to match up. You can't have a shoe, a common shoe with an epic basketball court. You need to match. So if you had an epic basketball court, you need the broken history shoes because they're the ones you would use on that basketball court. So if you had a Lab and common, the total rarity would actually be 14.5. In other words, 14.5 town coin per day. That's because you get 7 for the Lab shoes themselves, plus a 50% bonus. So that's another 3.5, plus the 2 courts, which are common courts, give 2 each. So that gives you a total of 14.5 town coin per day for having those 3 items. Now, one other thing to point out here, if you have 3 NFTs in your game, you need a gala power of at least 3 to earn from those 3 NFTs. Having said that, if you get the Lab and you buy the 2 basketball courts, even if you can't earn from the 2 basketball courts, it will still give you the 10.5 from the Lab because you have the 2 basketball courts in play. So if you wanted the really cheapest version of achieving 10.5 town coin, you could still buy those 3 items. Total cost is $1,500, which is still less than a single pair of Warp shoes, it would get you 10.5 town coin if you had a gala power level of 1. If you had a gala power level of 3, then you'd earn from all 3 and you get 14.5 town coin per day. But you can see the best value one is for the warp shoes plus the uncommon basketball courts. That would give you 25.5 town coin per day for a total cost at the moment of $2,380, which means you're only paying $93 per town coin that you earn from the game. Now, that's quite a complicated one. I've taken you through a fairly in-depth analysis. With these basketball courts, they are, I still think, some of the best value NFTs out there, but it is a bit more complicated there because you are buying 3 different NFTs to maximize the value, and that's not normally how it works. If we look at the wheat stand here as a comparison, there are only 4 different types of wheat stand. There's a common, rare, epic, and legendary. The common gives you 14 town coin per day, the rare 17, epic 20, and legendary 72. And you can see the cost per town coin here. The best one you could buy is the legendary, which would cost you $169 per town coin. The next best would be the rare, which would be $175. But again, you've got nothing less than $2,600 here at the moment with the wheat stands. So again, as a direct comparison, it's more affordable to get the lab and 2 common basketball courts, which would be a total cost of $1,500, versus the wheat stand, which would be $2,600, and they would both give you 14 town coin per day, as long as you had 3 gala power or more. So that runs you through those details. Now, on the prices here, I've not included gas fees. Every time you buy an NFT on OpenC, there are gas fees to consider as well, and they vary literally by the minute. So if you see high gas fees, you'll always get to see when you start buying things on OpenSea, you can see what the price is before you confirm it and get to know what the gas fees are. Get to know what's a realistic gas fee and what's just crazy, because what last thing you want to do is end up paying hundreds of dollars in gas fees, which is very unnecessary. So let's have a quick look at those items on OpenSea. The link is in the description as well. You can see here the Genesis Curry Flow Warp. Current price is $1,600, and that is still valid. If I just refresh this was a little while ago, so $1,612, so slightly cheaper now. So that really is great value. If we look at the uncommon basketball court that goes with that, the price earlier was $369. Let me just refresh this page. $357, so down slightly there as well. So again, considerable value to be had in those items. So hopefully that's given you a better picture of how to choose NFTs of better value in the Townstar game. You can play Townstar for free, get used to the skills. There is also rental opportunities coming up, so you can rent NFTs. So again, it may be you don't have enough gala power to place 3 NFTs in your game, but if you buy all 3 NFTs, do remember that you will be able to rent these at some point, hopefully not too distant future. So we can rent them to other people or let other people borrow them, and we can set, or the idea is that we'll be able to set what commission we want on those. So it could be 80-20, so I could let, you could borrow the basketball court from me, you would get 20% of the earnings, I'd get 80% of the earnings because I actually own the basketball court, or we could choose a 50-50 and so on. All those details are yet to be released, but some early sketches we've seen, those are the sort of figures they're looking at. And that is also a final reminder that Townstar, whilst it is expensive for a lot of people to get into Townstar at the moment on the play to earn side of things, when the rental happens, then you will get some big game players, big whales who've got loads of money. They will start buying up these NFTs like crazy because they can then rent them out. You don't even have to play the game at that point. If you're someone who's just simply an investor buying great value NFTs that give you a daily income, you could just buy up all these NFTs. They are, people say they're expensive, but I genuinely believe these will look ridiculously cheap in a 6 months, 12 months time, because they generate daily income. And if you can rent these out to other people, if you've got someone with millions, they can go and buy all of these up very quickly and then go and rent them to other people in the game. The people can borrow those for free, and everybody wins because The people who own the NFTs as investors, they're just lending them out to other people. The people are playing the game. I'm suspecting those NFTs are going to be next to nothing to actually rent, because they're just getting a share of the revenue from the actual earnings of those NFTs. So why would someone borrow an NFT and then not actually use it? But yeah, all that will be revealed later, but very exciting stuff coming up in the future. And so whilst we only have a few, well, I think there's about 15,000 people play per month at the moment on Townstar. It's very early days, and imagine this when this gets to let's say 5 million game players, and these NFTs, which will be in such short supply by then, and it's a simple supply and demand, I think these prices will absolutely rocket. And so what you want to do is look for the best value ones now that you can afford. Whether you place them in the game is not so crucial at this point, although obviously it will earn you town coin, which is definitely beneficial, but I don't think rental is going to be far away from now anyway. So hopefully you found that video useful. Do give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel if you want more videos, more in-depth insight on Townstar and crypto gaming, NFTs, and simple investing that can make you a lot of money. That's what my channel is all about, getting your money to work for you. Then do subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.